to reality, remarkable dreams that shaped history. Have you ever woken up from a dream and felt like it was trying to tell you something? Dreams have always been fascinating and mysterious, but did you know that some of the world's most prominent scientists, writers, musicians, mathematicians, and inventors have had their careers shaped by their dreams? In this video, we will explore 10 impressive dreams that changed the course of human history. 1. Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech. The speech delivered on August 28, 1963, at the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom, is one of the most iconic speeches in American history. The eloquent and powerful speech was historical for several reasons. It was delivered at a critical moment in the American Civil Rights Movement, which was the largest protest for civil rights in American history, and it brought together people of all races and backgrounds to demand equal rights for all. The words of King had a significant impact on public opinion regarding civil rights. And they contributed to the passing of crucial laws like the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965. His speech continues to inspire a fresh wave of activists who are fighting for social justice and civil rights. 2. Mary Shelley, The Birth of Frankenstein. The world's first science fiction novel, Frankenstein, was inspired by Mary Shelley's vivid nightmare during her visit to Lake Geneva in Switzerland in 1816. In her dream, she envisioned the story of a scientist who creates a living being from dead body parts, which later became the basis for her famous novel. 3. Niels Bohr, Atomic Model. The father of quantum mechanics, Niels Bohr, often spoke of the inspirational dream that led to his discovery of the structure of the atom. In his dream, he saw the nucleus of an atom with electrons orbiting around it in distinct energy levels, which contributed to his development of the Bohr model of the atom. 4. Elias Howe, The Eye of the Needle. Elias Howe was working on the design of a sewing machine. However, he was struggling to figure out how to make a needle. He had a vivid dream of being surrounded by fierce-looking natives in an unfamiliar place. During a dream, the indigenous people Howe encountered were armed with spears that had an unusual feature, a hole near the tip. Howe observed that these spears were more effective at piercing fabric than conventional spears. This realization prompted him to consider designing a needle with a hole near the pointed end, similar to the spears in his dream. This idea solved the problem he was facing, and Elias Howe woke up with a clear vision of creating the sewing machine needle, which he promptly developed. 5. Albert Einstein, The Theory of Relativity. Did you know that Einstein's brilliant insights into the universe were inspired by a dream? While in a deep sleep, he imagined sledding down a mountainside at the speed of light, which ultimately led to the development of his theory of relativity. 6. Paul McCartney, The Story Behind Yesterday. Did you know that Paul McCartney composed the entire melody of Yesterday for the Beatles in a dream in 1965? He woke up with the tune in his head and initially thought it was someone else's composition because it was so beautiful. The Beatles are widely regarded as one of the most influential and successful bands in history, and their music has had a profound impact on popular culture. 7. The Kekulé benzene ring dream. The structure of the benzene molecule was elucidated by Friedrich August Kekulé, a chemist from Germany. Kekulé had been pondering the problem for some time but without any luck. One evening, while daydreaming by the fire in his study, he saw an image of snakes biting their tails and forming a closed ring. Suddenly, this vision transformed into an image of 6 carbon atoms in benzene that were forming a hexagonal ring at a fast pace. It dawned on him that the structure of benzene was a hexagonal ring of 6 carbon atoms with alternating single and double bonds, just as he had seen in his dream. 8. Dmitri Mendelev's periodic table. According to legend, Dmitri Mendeleev, a Russian chemist, visualized the organization of the periodic table in a dream. He later used this inspiration to create a system for arranging the elements. This discovery has aided scientists in comprehending and predicting the existence of new elements with ease. 9. Salvador Dali's surreal dreams. Salvador Dali, a famous Spanish surrealist artist, was recognized for his peculiar and creative pieces that frequently incorporated unusual and surrealistic visuals. Dolly's keen interest in the unconscious mind and dreams heavily influenced his artistic approach. His artworks and writings showcase a profound attachment to the realm of dreams. 10. Mark Twain's death dream. The renowned American author and humorist had a well-known dream that is frequently mentioned about his passing. He described the dream in his autobiography, where he saw himself in a casket and provided intricate details. He passed away on April 21, 1910.